Welcome back to another Explainer. Today, we're doing something incredibly practical. We're going to run a hands-on, interactive self-audit based on real-world investigative data from the experts at All Russian. Think of it like a stress test for your digital perimeter to see just how secure your identity really is right now.
So let me ask you this right out of the gate. Are you safe just because your credit score is fine? A lot of people think true identity theft is just, a couple of weird credit card charges that the bank catches and reverses anyway. But as we're going to see today, true identity theft goes much, much deeper than that.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. Beyond the credit report. 2. The 5 dimensions of risk. 3. Evaluating your warning signs. 4. Calculating your risk score. And finally, 5. Securing your stolen identity. By the end of this, you'll know exactly how to measure your risk and lock things down.
Let's start with Section 1, Beyond the Credit Report.
And this brilliantly illustrates why just checking your credit report once a year simply isn't enough anymore. See, standard credit monitoring is entirely reactive. It detects damage after the fact. A true identity assessment, on the other hand, detects the preceding signals. We're talking about catching early warning signs like mail diversion or medical fraud way before the massive financial ruin actually hits your life.
Moving on to Section 2, the 5 dimensions of risk.
To truly protect ourselves, we have to look at the exact framework investigators use to track where thieves actually strike. The All Russian assessment scores 10 different factors across these 5 distinct dimensions: financial indicators, government record misuse, personal data exposure, account security, and medical or insurance fraud. You have to evaluate all 5 to get a comprehensive view of your exposure. It's like a giant puzzle.
Let's move to Section 3, Evaluating your warning signs, and see how this builds.
So we are going to do a rapid-fire mental self-audit right now. I want you to apply these real-world investigation questions to your own life. First up, have you experienced any irregularities with your physical mail? We spend so much time worrying about digital hackers, we literally forget about the physical, real-world warning signs sitting right in our mailbox.
Take a look at this list and think about where you fall. Normal mail delivery? Great. Getting occasional mail for someone else? Hey, it happens to everyone. But look at those bottom 2 points. Has your expected mail suddenly stopped arriving? Or even worse, have you confirmed a mail redirection? Investigators point out that a sudden stop in delivery often means a fraudulent change of address was filed without your knowledge. It's an absolutely massive red flag.
Okay, next question for your mental audit. Have you encountered any signs that your SSN may be in use? I want you to think about any weird government or tax-related flags you might have noticed recently.
No signs of misuse is obviously the goal here, but the severe warning signs kick in if your SSN is suddenly declined for credit or benefits. And the ultimate red flag? The IRS contacts you about unclaimed income from a company you've never, ever worked for. If that happens, your SSN has absolutely been hijacked.
Now, let's pivot to a lesser-known but highly damaging dimension. Have you received medical bills for services you did not receive? Medical billing is confusing enough, but think really closely about your recent healthcare statements.
Usually, we just glance at these statements, right? Maybe we dismiss a confusing bill as a simple administrative error. But receiving bills for treatments or prescriptions you never had is a severe risk indicator. And finding out your insurance benefits have been exhausted by unknown claims? That means someone is literally walking into a clinic and using your identity to get medical care. Our final audit question focuses on personal data exposure. Has a dark web scanning service alerted you that your data is for sale? We're talking about those underground marketplaces where stolen identities are just traded like everyday commodities.
If you have no alerts, excellent. And honestly, an old email or password from 2014 popping up is fairly common. But if your full name, address, phone number, and specifically your SSN or financial data are found bundled up for sale, that is the whole shebang. Criminals have exactly what they need to start impersonating you right now.
Which brings us to Section 4, Calculating your risk score. So the crucial point is 50. In the full All Russian assessment, your answers to those questions generate a weighted probability score based on real-world patterns, and 50 is the critical threshold you need to watch out for. Let me read directly from the investigative findings here. Scores above 50 indicate that multiple indicators are present simultaneously, a pattern that almost always correlates with active identity misuse. Let that sink in for a second. If your mental audit is scoring high right now with multiple red flags, it's no longer just a theoretical risk, it is almost certainly active misuse of your identity.
And that brings us to our climax today, Section 5, Securing Your Stolen Identity.
Cross the threshold? Here is exactly how victims secure their perimeter. Listen, if you felt a pit in your stomach during that audit, do not panic. We're shifting from anxiety to empowerment right now. There is a clear, definitive action plan recommended by professional investigators to lock down your stolen identity.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the exact sequential order you need to follow to stop the bleeding. First, immediately place fraud alerts and freezes with all 3 bureaus. Second, file a formal report at identitytheft.gov. Third, painstakingly review all your financial and medical statements for anomalies. And fourth, if you need definitive answers, commission professional identity verification.
So what does that professional route actually look like? Well, moving way beyond just automated tools, a professional investigation traces exactly how your stolen identity is currently being used. It identifies the actual perpetrators through public source research and ultimately delivers a documented report that you can hand straight to law enforcement. This is exactly how victims secure their identity and hold people accountable.
We have covered a lot of crucial ground today. You've audited your risk across 5 dimensions and learned exactly how victims secure their perimeter when things go wrong. But I want to leave you with this final, provocative question. You've audited your risk, but are you prepared to act before the real damage is done? Take proactive steps today. Don't wait to become a definitive victim. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.